Hello and welcome to the Star Trek Online Synergy Fleet guide to getting lots of high level anomalous materials. The key thing, or the first thing you need to do to be able to do this is first of all create a brand new character and do not level them up beyond going through the tutorial. So if you look in the top left hand corner here, you should see that my character is Lieutenant Grade 2. You need this character because the anomalies or the cluster areas that you go to are scaled based on your level. The missions are scaled based on your level as well, but for some reason the clusters, when you actually enter themselves and you scan for anomalies, will give you higher level anomalies because you're in a more difficult cluster, but when you actually do the missions, they aren't so hard. So the clusters I'm referring to are located in different sectors of space. There's Romulan sector and the Cardassian sector, the two sectors that are currently accessible. For the Romulan sector, which is north of Sol, is the best description, you can go into the Iridian Belt, which you should find there, located above the Iota Pavonis sector block. And again, you could also go to the Kazon cluster, which is located just off to the right of the Alpha Centauri sector block, or indeed you can go to the Afthnir Nebula, which is located off the Psi Velorum or Velatorum or whatever you want to call it sector block as well. To get the highest end gear and anomalies, you can go to Cardassian space, which is located off to the left of Sol, and you should find that Sol is obviously located center on the map, right beside Space Dock. And from there you can access the Bactra Nebula, which is in the bottom half of the area, or indeed you could go to the Rolar Nebula as well. That one is closest to DS9, which will allow you then to mail the items directly to me for the competition. Finally, you can also go over to the Zeus Expanse, and those three areas would give you access to all high level materials, not just reds and blues and whatnot. That would be things like purples, yellows, deep blues. If you go to the Iridian Belt, the Kazon cluster, or even the Nebula in Romulan space, then you'll be able to access there'll be aqua blues, greens, and possibly dark blues as well, depending on what you're scanning. So what we'll do is I'll show you how you have to scan, or what you have to scan when you actually enter into the area, but rather than having to let this see me travel all the way down there, I'm going to cut that part and we'll come back to it via the power of editing in video. Okay, so back by the power of editing, or should I say whoopash! We're now in the Bactra Nebula in Cardassian space, and as you can see, it's all very lovely and brown, like a curry in the toilet from the night before. And all you have to do to gather the better materials is fly up to one of the anomalies located wherever around the system, and before you hit your F key, or indeed actually click the button using the mouse to see whether or not you can get a scan from it, read the text that appears very carefully in the box. So the first one we've come up with is very good because that's the one you don't need, which is explore unknown system. So don't scan those because that's what you're after. What you're actually looking for, hopefully if I go to this one, you have scan anomalous reading. So you scan it, pops up, and you accept, obviously by either pressing F or clicking the take that or take all button, and you will generate a anomalous material. Now you might have noticed there the one I picked up is purple, which, considering I'm only a Lieutenant 2, is actually pretty darn high level for my current rank within the game. Be careful when you get to one of these, where, for example, you're between two anomalies and you're within scan range of both. Obviously you want to make sure you select the scan anomalous one. The item then comes up again and again. You've got another purple here for my example, and you've got a genetic sequencer in this case. So again, you can just scan that, take the item, and move on again. And that's basically how you get the high level items. So what I'll do now is I'm going to record this, speed it up, and then show you what happens after about 15 minutes of flying around and collecting anomalies as well. So enjoy the music, which will be by a guy called Ronald or Ron Jenkee. You can find him on YouTube, or you can find him on his own website on Google. You can go onto iTunes. The song I'm using is called Guitar Sound. So enjoy that, and then I'll come back to you in a few minutes after I've done a few more scans.